My brother stole my father's legacy. My father built a restaurant with his bare hands for 40 years. When he did, he left it to me and my brother equally. But my brother forged the will, stole everything, and sold our father's legacy for $3 million. I had nothing until I found the truth hidden in safety despoiled box. My name is Marcus Rivera, and this is the story of how my own brother destroyed everything my father built, and how I got it all back. My father, Antonio Rivera, came to America from Mexico in 1984 with nothing but $50 in his pocket and a dream. He worked 3 jobs: dishwasher, janitor, taxi driver, saving every penny. In 1990, he opened Casa Rivera, a small Mexican restaurant in downtown Chicago. Just 8 tables, a tiny kitchen, and my father's recipes that his grandmother taught him back in Guadalajara. I was 10 years old. My brother David was 15. We both grew up in that restaurant. While other kids played video games, we were washing dishes, taking orders, learning the business. My father always said, "This restaurant is not just a business. This is our family's soul. It's our legacy, and one day it will belong to both of you equally." David and I were close back then. He taught me how to ride a bike, how to talk to girls, how to stand up to bullies. He was my hero. Over 40 years, my father turned Casa Rivera into one of the most beloved restaurants in Chicago. Lines around the block every weekend. Featured in Chicago Tribune, Food Network, Michelin Guide. Not because it was fancy, but because the food was authentic, made with love. My father never franchised, never sold out. He said, "This is a family restaurant. It says, in the family." David and I both worked there our entire adult lives. I ran the kitchen, learned every recipe from my father. David managed the business side, finances, suppliers, marketing. We were partners, brothers, a team. In 2023, my father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, stage 4. The doctors gave him 3 months. He called us both to his hospital bed and said, "My sons, I'm leaving Casa Rivera to both of you. 50-50, equal partners. Promise me you'll take care of it. Promise me you'll take care of each other." We both promised. We held his hand. We cried together. My father died on September 3rd, 2023. The funeral was beautiful. Hundreds of customers came to pay respects. People who'd been eating in Casa Rivera for 30 years. David gave the e-look. He cried. He said, "Dad, I promise to honor your legacy. Marcus and I will make you proud." I believed him. That was my first mistake. 2 weeks after the funeral, David called me into the restaurant's office. "Marcus, we need to talk about the will," he said. "Sure," I replied. "They left us 50-50, right? Well, run it together like we always did." David pulled out a document, a will. He slid it across the desk. I read it. My blood went cold. The will stated, "I, Antonio Rivera, leave Casa Rivera restaurant in its entirety to my oldest son, David Rivera. My youngest son, Marcus Rivera, shall receive $50,000 as his inheritance." $50,000, that's it. "What is this?" I shouted. "Dad promised us 50-50. He said it in the hospital." David shrugged. Dad changed his mind. He signed this new will 2 weeks before he died. He felt I was better suited to run the business. "You're a great chef, Marcus, but you're not a businessman." "This is bullshit." I slammed my fist on the desk. "Dad will never do this. Let me see the original will." "This is the original will," David said calmly. "Signed, dated, notarized. It's legal." I demanded to see our father's lawyer. David gave me his card. Some attorney I'd never heard of named Robert Chen. I called Robert Chen. He's confirmed, yes, Mr. Antonio Rivera came to my office on August 20th, 23 and signed this will. It's legitimate. August 20th, 2 weeks before my father died, when he could barely speak, barely move. Something didn't feel right, but I had no proof. David offered me to the $50,000. To take it, Marcus. Move on. Start your own restaurant if you want. $50,000 for 20 years of my life, for my father's promise, for our legacy. I refused. I'm not leaving. This restaurant is mine too. David's face hardened. Actually, it's not. I own it now. And as owner, I'm making some changes, starting with stuffing. He handed me a letter, termination notice. You're firing me? I couldn't believe it. You're a great chef, Marcus. But I need to bring in fresh talent, new direction. Nothing personal, it's just a business. Just business. Our father's legacy, just business. I have 2 weeks to clear out. I left Cara Rivera with a cardboard box of my personal items. 20 years of my life gone. I tried to fight. I hired a lawyer, the best I could afford on my savings. His name was Tom Garcia, a solo practitioner. Tom reviewed the will. Marcus, I'm sorry, this document appears legitimate, signed, notarized, witnessed. Unless you can prove it, a forgery, there's nothing we can do. It is a forgery? I insisted. My father promised us 50-50. Verbal promises don't hold out the court. Tom said sadly, you need physical evidence, the original will, something that proves fraud. But I had nothing. David controlled everything, all of my father's documents, files, papers, everything was the restaurant office. And I no longer had access. I was devastated. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks. I watched from across the street as David made improvements to Casa Rivera. He changed the menu, removed my father's recipes, added fusion dishes, raised prices. Regular customers started complaining. This isn't the Casa Rivera we know. They said, where is Antonio's Malt's house? Where is the authentic recipes? But David didn't care. He was chasing a different goal. 3 months after my father's death, David put Casa Rivera up for sale. He sold it to a restaurant chain called Mexicana Group for $3 million. $3 million. My father's 40 years of work, his soul, his legacy, sold to a corporate chain that would turn it into another generic franchise. David looked the money and disappeared, moved to Miami. Bought a mansion, posted photos on Instagram of few new Ferrari, his yacht, his luxury lifestyle. Meanwhile, I was working as a line cook at the dinner for $15 an hour. My brother stole everything, and there was nothing I could do about it. Or so I thought. 6 months after my father's death, I received a phone call from First National Bank of Chicago. Mr. Marcos Rivera, this is Sandra Lopez from First National. We have safety deposit box registered under your name and your father's name. The annual fee is due. A safety deposit box? I was confused. I don't have a safety deposit box. Our records show that Antonio Rivera opened this box in 1995 and added you as a co-signer in 2020. You have access to it. My father added me to a safety deposit box in 2020. Why didn't he tell me? I went to the bank immediately. Sandra took me to the vault. She used my ID and key to open box number 247. Inside was a manila envelope. I opened it with shaking hands. Inside were 3 documents. Document 1. My father's original will, dated January 15, 2020. Signed, notarized, witnessed by 2 people I recognized. Our family friends Maria and Jose. I read it with tears streaming down my face. I, Antonio Rivera, leave Casa Rivera restaurant to be divided equally between my 2 sons. David Rivera 50%, and Marcus Rivera 50%. They shall be equal partners in ownership and management, 50-50, just like he promised. Document 2. A handwritten letter from my father to me. My dear Marcus, if you are reading this, I'm gone. I'm writing this letter in case something happens to me and someone tries to steal what is rightfully yours. I made my will very clear. Casa Rivera belongs to you, and David equally 50-50 always. I'm putting this original will in our safety deposit box where only you can find it. I added you as a co-signer in 2020, but I didn't tell you, not even David. If anyone shows you a different will, it is a lie. This is the truth. Protect your legacy, my son. Don't let anyone take it from you. With all my love, Papa. I collapsed on the floor of the bank vault, sobbing. My father knew. He knew someone might to try steal the restaurant, so he protected me. Document 3. Medical records from August 2023. The same month David claimed my father signed the new will. The records showed my father was unconscious in the hospital in August 20th, the date of the David's forged will. He was on morphine, unable to speak, unable to sign everything. It was impossible for him to have signed the will. David had forgotten it. I called Tom Garcia immediately. I found it. I found the original will, and I have proof the owner will is fake. Tom reviewed everything. His eyes widened. Marcus, this is it. This is fraud. Will forgery is a felony of aliens. We can not only invalidate the fake will, we can send David to prison. We filed an emergency motion in probate court to freeze all assets from the sale for Casa Rivera. We presented the original will, my father's letter, and the medical records. The judge issued an immediate order. All funds from the sale of Casa Rivera are frozen pending investigation. David $3 million frozen. We filed criminal charges against David for will forgery and fraud. We also sued the attorney, Robert Chen, for participating in the fraud. Turns out, Robert Chen was David's college roommate who failed the bar exam twice. He wasn't even real attorney. David paid him $5,000 to pretend to notarize a fake will. The investigation moved fast. Forensic documents experts examined both wills. They confirmed the signatures didn't match. The fake will's signature was traced from other documents, a major forgery. The two witnesses of the fake will paid the cross David found the Craigslist. They testified against him in exchange for immunity. Everything unraveled. David hired expensive lawyers, the best money could buy, but the evidence was overwhelming. The trial was held in Cook County Criminal Court. The courtroom was packed. Former Casa Rivera customers, friends of my father, journalists. I sat in the front row, holding my father's letter. David sat at the defendant's table in the suit, looking pale and scared. Not the confident, smart brother who had fired me from my own restaurant. The prosecutor presented the evidence. The original will found in the safety deposit box, my father's letter. Medical records proving he was unconscious on the date of the fake will. Testimony from the fake witness David paid. Forensic analysis from the forged signature. Bank records showing David paid Robert Chen $5,000. David's defense attorney tried to argue that David genuinely believed the will was real, that he made a mistake, but the prosecutor destroyed the argument. She showed the jury David's bank statements. He had withdrawn $40,000 in cash the week before the will was signed, paid to fake witness, fake attorney, document forger. This wasn't mistake. It was premeditated fraud. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Verdict: guilty on all counts. Will forgery, wire fraud, theft by deception, perjury. Judge Martinez sentenced David to 8 years to federal prison. Mr. David Rivera, the judge said, you didn't just forge a document. You betrayed your own family. You spat on your father's grave. You stole from your brother. This court has no sympathy for you. 8 years. David was led away in handcuffs. He looked at me as they took him past, not with anger, with shame. I felt no satisfaction, only sadness. This was my brother, my hero, and he had become a monster. The civil court battle was next. I sued to recover Casa Rivera. The problem, David had already sold it to Mexicana Group for $3 million, but my lawyers argued the sale was based on fraudulent ownership. David never legally owned the restaurant, therefore the sale is void. Mexicana Group fought back. They had already remodeled the restaurant, changed the name to Casa Mexicana, turned it into franchise location. But the judge sided with me. The sale is invalidated. Mr. Marcos Rivera is the rightful owner under his father's legitimate will. I won, but here's the catch. I had to buy out the 50% that was supposed to be David's. Since he was convicted of fraud, his share to inheritance was forfeited to the state. The state agreed to sell me David's 50% for $1.5 million. $500,000 what Mexicana Group paid. Where would I get $1.5 million? Then when something incredible happened. Former Casa Rivera customers, people who had eaten my father's food decades, started a crowdfunding campaign called Save Casa Rivera. Within 1 month, they raised $800,000. Local Chicago businesses donated. A bank gave me a small business loan for the rest. I bought David's 50%. I owned Casa Rivera 100%. On March 15, 2025, I reopened Casa Rivera. I restored everything, the original name, the original menu, the father's recipes, the 8 tables, the tiny kitchen. I hung my father's photo above the entrance with a plaque, Antonio Rivera, from 1956 to 2023. He built this with love, with honor his legacy. The line on opening night wrapped around the block. 300 people. Some had been waiting for this moment for over a year. An elderly woman named Mrs. Chen, one of the first customers from 1990, hugged me and cried, "Your father would be so proud of you, Marcos." I cried too. Casa Rivera is thriving again. We're fully booked every night. The reviews are incredible. People say, "It feels like Antonio is still the kitchen." In a way he is, because every dish I make with his love, his passion, his soul. As for David, he's currently in year 2 of 8-year sentence at Federal Correctional Institution in Terre Haute, Indiana. I have visited him. Maybe I will someday, maybe I'll forgive him. But not yet. The $3 million David stole, frozen and returned it to a state I used it to. Pay back everyone who donated to save Casa Rivera. Create a scholarship fund for culinary students in my father's name. Renovate the restaurant with proper equipment. Save the rest for Casa Rivera future. This story taught me something important about family, betrayal, and justice. Greed can turn even the people you loved into strangers. My brother wasn't born evil, but $3 million corrupted him completely. Family businesses are sacred in America. They represent immigrant dreams, hard work, legacy. When someone tries to steal that, they are not just stealing money. They are stealing history, identity, soul. But there is what I learned. Truth always comes out. Always. My father knew this. That's why he protected me with that safety deposit box. He knew greed could poison even his son. So he gave me the weapon I needed to fight back. If you're ever betrayed by family, by a partner, by someone you trust, don't give up. The truth is out there. You just have to find it. And when you do, fight. Fight with everything you have. Because some things are worth fighting for. Honor, legacy, justice. My father built Casa Rivera with his bare hands. My brother tried to steal it. But in the end, truth won. Casa Rivera stands, my father's legacy lives on, and every night when I lock up the restaurant, I look at his photo and say, I kept my promise, Papa. I protected our legacy. Justice for Antonio Rivera. Justice for all families who fight for what's right. If this story moved you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Hit that subscribe button because tomorrow is Cheating Wednesday, and trust me, the story will shock you. Remember, family isn't just blood, it's honor, loyalty, truth. See you tomorrow.